and validated through dry runs conducted on April 24th, the first one, and recently May 4th, that is 2026, obviously. And the plan provides detailed protocols for handling the different categories of delegates expected. Just to mention to you that the way you handle the head of state is not the way you handle other delegations. I think you know that. So you have to, in the operational plan, you have to look at that. 2, airport infrastructure. All necessary infrastructure is in place, as you all know. This is not the first event that we have handled, including adequate funds for additional expected aircraft. But as you know, even if we are doing this, we continue with our key operations. That is scheduled airlines, both cargo and passengers. We will continue to run smoothly. But as you know, we expect more aircraft landing, especially from heads of delegations and other bringing in people. You also know that as a routine, we have renovations work continuing. Furnishings and branding have been undertaken in several areas, notably the VVIPs facility, which is actually the primary reception area for heads of state and governments and other high-level delegations. I have to mention that characteristics of airports and other aviation facilities. You don't disrupt traffic because you are having such an event. Because we sign agreements and other things to facilitate traffic, both landings and overflights. So it is up to us to work extra hard to make sure that both take place. So, in other words, preparation is taking into account additional workload, additional facilitation, but with seamless operations for day-to-day operations of any airport and any other facility that facilitates travel, air travel rather. Yes. Stakeholder coordination, regarding stakeholder coordination, UCA continues to coordinate all airport stakeholders, including airlines, and there are many ground handlers, both for passengers and cargo, fuel operators, security of all agencies in accordance with their mandates, customs, immigration, and any other airport service that you would expect for an airport and the border point of that. All these are very brief, especially airlines, for the operation expectation. And aviation fuel suppliers have been asked and tasked as well to ensure that adequate stocks of fuel to meet and increase demand so that there is no disruption or any risk of scarcity is realized. So everybody is alert on this event. You know, as we do that, there are some corporates in the aviation industry, particularly in the Middle East, that have caused airspace disruptions. And we've been containing those. And there is no reason why we don't continue to contain them, at least on our part of the world, to ensure that we remain operational even with those disruptions. I know as a country, we also need to talk about other broader industry beyond the preparation for Israel. I've just indicated that this was significantly disrupted. Aviation has been significantly disrupted following temporary closure of airspace in the Middle East, which, as you know, began on February 28, 2026. Just a little bit of explanation. Middle East has, over the years, positioned itself as a big aviation industry player, both as a destination but also as an origin of airline. And some of the Middle East carriers are very big carriers in the world. So in our usual language, we say all roads lead to some basic. In fact, when flights were leading to the Middle East, they still do, but in a disrupted way. So several airlines operating Middle East routes from Italy, including Emirates, Fly Dubai, Air Arabia, Qatar, and Uganda Airlines temporarily suspended flights for resuming operations in phases. They have resumed many of them, but they are not forced back to normal levels. Not yet. These airlines continue to closely monitor the situation and adjust their schedules accordingly. Disruptions had, have and have had considerable impact on passenger and cargo traffic through a heavy contributing increased ticket costs, but also reduced revenue across sectors. Again, just to remind Ugandans that aviation industry is a facilitator of economic of business and travel. So the disruption is not just immediately with the aviation industry. It's also a disruption in the economic zone. And Uganda is just one of them. It's not just Uganda, but we are looking at our aim. There are many the air transport chain is very long beyond what many people expect. Because this effect must be felt, for instance, in the hospitality industry, the tourism industry, in the food industry, and so on and so forth. So it is a little bit much deeper than what you see in the aviation industry. Because for us, we are mainly facilitators. While passenger traffic at the international airport has been steadily rising over the recent years, the February and March disruptions have caused some recorded declines compared to the same period last year. For instance, international arrivals have declined by almost 8%, and international departures have also declined by 8.5%. But transit passengers, rather traffic passenger traffic recorded a strong growth of 25%, and cargo also declined by 28%, almost 30, and imports, I mean air transport, those imports that we handle in aviation by 9%. And despite the decline in passenger and cargo traffic, We also realized increase in aircraft movement by almost 8%, and aircraft movements will be those aircraft that move in our airspace, in our flight information region, but they don't land here. But of course, they are coming here in big numbers, means that we are also an island of aviation security in the region. There is always a positive in all events that take place here and there. And this impact was most pronounced in March, and I have provided a detailed summary of this performance that will be available in a documented form and will be circulated to you. The only thing I want to is that you vote properly. And this figure has been, because the decline is not fair and happy, and we think we'll be moving as situation. These are always in our risk plans. These stabilities are always, we always cater for them in our risk plan that we usually put across. In April, this very April last month, we recorded 94,000 passengers arriving and 94,810 departing passengers, which is a total of 189,130 international passengers, an average of 6,304 per day. This is obviously a slight increase of 4,900 more than was recorded in the same month. Even with that figure, we are still actually moving up. Cargo has drastically declined. It looks like we reached the same of cargo, and those figures we see them, but specifically recorded 3,389 metric tons of exports and 1,434 metric tons of imports. A total of 4,853 metric tons of cargo in April, compared to 6,000 metric tons recorded in April 2025, just the same period last year, which is a deficit of about 1,200 metric tons. Regarding hijab pilgrimage operators, hijab pilgrimage operators will be departing for Mecca through a international airport from today, May 8th, until May 20th. As is the practice during this period, significantly higher passenger volumes and accompanying persons are expected at the airport. Remember, so we strongly advise all departing passengers traveling using this period to plan ahead and allow additional time for check-in and other airport processes to avoid conveniences or risk of missing flights during that time. So in order to maintain orderly traffic flow within the airport, additional accompanying vehicles may be redirected where necessary, and we appreciate the public's understanding about this more inconvenience as the case may be. The first group of pilgrims departing today will travel aboard Flynas with subsequent departure on Emirates and fried by. There are also charter flights carrying approximately 385 and 250 passengers which are planned on Hills and May 20. And we expect these pilgrims to return by May 31st and June 10th. Airport staff are already briefed to drive the car park near the control tower so they don't fix so that we increase the space for the likely in passenger company passengers. Usually there is always a lot of excitement and we are always happy to hear it happen. So they remain with the excitement and happiness as they move to the whole land and as they come back. The press should need to be tested for there and see what happens. A lot of excitement. And it is not our duty to use excitement. What actually to make sure that they continue with their excitement, religious excitement. So it is always the best. So I want to encourage them from what you have not seen before. So we are happy to always associate ourselves with the excitement of this group of people. And with that, we wish pilgrims a safe and comfortable journey through the international airport and obviously the whole pilgrimage so that they are very well they receive wherever they are and they obviously achieve what they objective what they know in the future. There is always a lot to talk about aviation industry and I'm always happy and my colleagues to really bring you an update on every aviation thing. You know very well for some years now, we've been trying to revamp certain aviation facilities depending on the money we continue to collect. And this money, of course, is internally generated as I keep saying. We don't get money from anywhere. We generate what we put back. And the aviation industry such that every time our requirements, compliance requirements, in safety and security are always a moving target. You complete this in terms of compliance with technology, with safety, but the new technology has come in place. And aviation facilities are global in nature. The standards are global. So there is no such a thing as a local standard for an aviation standard. Global standards are determined globally. So what you find in Amsterdam or Brussels or Dubai is in the same measure what is expected in India. Those passengers are going to be handled in the same way. So every day when you go to a terminal, any aviation facility, you find movement. You will be redirected, moving in a different direction. You will be told that this place is under renovation. And that is the nature of aviation all over the world. But this is what you see here in the airport. But in the airspace regarding facilitation of air navigation, there is every effort to make it seamless, safe, but also sustainable. So it is important that you note that because aviation is not about only airlines and airports. It is also about other service provisions, especially aircraft control provision, information, and the rest. But most importantly, we must comply with international standards. and the structure of compliance in the recent years have been really put a bar high. As you remember, we are now over 70% compliance and safety by world standards, not just local standards. We are over 80% compliance and security, and we don't have one program. And these are day-to-day engagements, and actually, we look at it every other day because they are our day-to-day concerns. Regarding abstraction facilities, because we can't just be a center for intelligence without looking at abstraction, we are trying to revamp several abstraction facilities. Notably, you know very well, we've been working on covering international airport, essentially for gas, for oil and gas industry. But as you know, in recent times, has been chosen as one of WIM has been chosen as one of the venues for AFCO. That again puts a lot of pressure on us. Therefore, we make it ready. And we will be ready for initially for AFCO now, but also for oil and gas industry. Arua International Airport, where in Wako, that will be a third international airport, which we are going to start on. A lot of work has been done, but we have now secured funding that are going to make an international airport for regional flight, mainly Asia, first for regional flight, but even for global flight. Other airports are at different stages of consideration, like assessment. We are concluding the study of assessment, and we'll soon work on it at upgrading. We completed runway upgrades and taxi and apron upgrade for store. We are now putting up a big terminal building. You should go there and see the preliminary works that are starting at Store Airport. And many others that continue to maintain even work going on in Pakupa. We have put a new terminal building. Pakupa is in the International National Park. And many others that we are putting under consideration for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing a lot in our business. And you can also interact with my colleagues to get more things about what we are trying to do amidst tight budgetary provisions. But we think we should make a statement starting with the Entebbe and make it a truly international airport with modern facilities that you will continue, and I promise that you will continue to see improving over the years. And please continue to go there, take pictures. Entebbe has changed. The face of Entebbe has really changed. And we want to promise that we will change as we move on. Of course, as I keep saying, using our mega resources, but productively and in a frugal way. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this slide from the last question. Our guide will tell us, but allow me to end here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, listeners, to report back of you. I must inform you that we don't need to question. This is what the Lord said. So basically, they don't follow the law. So at this moment, we need to collaboration.
And when you asking, allow me to also ask my colleague to answer
respond. Questions? No?
Thank you very much. Good morning to you. Last year, we had a challenge of the budget. You said that you want to have international airport. I wanted to know if the government can allocate that money that you're looking for this. Two, I wanted also to get us about the swearing ceremony. We have a lot of this coming from abroad and even in Africa and even South Africa. I don't know how people can Africa, how many are you at all the time.
Thank you.
Do we answer as they move on?
That's one action. Then, thank you very much. I know I was the the airport is going to be busy within the next 7 months. But my concern will automatically go for the international passport, which we are going to have. Entebbe is known to be kind of a small airport, and we are expecting more than 30 countries for the tournament. Are we sure Entebbe is ready to hold all those guests coming in and the influx of the planes that are going to block the country, the preparation for the AFCON? I think that's first approach.
Yes, the last one, I want to give my colleagues here some opportunity to answer, but I can answer the other one of money from government. Actually, the money we collect in the airport and other nation possesses government money. It's not our money. Only that very many times, all the time, not enough to do major infrastructure upgrades or start new infrastructure. The last time I checked it, to construct a 3.7 kilometer runway with the required compaction to meet international safety standards. That cost in the region of 100 over $100 million. It's actually like 5 times tamaking in 1 kilometer. So that one, of course, always needs some injection because it's a national facility. But they are day-to-day works of extensions, of remodeling, which we do using our hand resources inside the airport. So, but right now, the money we are using is the money we are collecting from our revenue sources, except previous supplements, which we finished with cargo center and runways with seating and a few extensions. But right now, what we are doing, most of it, we are using the money we collect. And it's not for government money, because otherwise, those sources are not resources from individuals or Uganda Civil Aviation Resources Department and so there is sometimes the difference. When you have major infrastructure, like the one I've just told you, starting a new run, then I thought must be under the national government. The other questions I think I'll be answered by my colleagues. First of all, this airport will be this, but we have been answering this here. What I have been talking about is our revenue, but what you can add on, and then also talk about the the readiness for AFCON. Then I'll come back.
Thank you very much. Just to clarify on our preparedness for AFCON and the question whether we will be positioned to manage the 30 countries. This is definitely correct. We'll be in position. Because if you've seen the trend, we held NAM last year, and NAM we received 1,494 international guests here. And that we managed very well, representing 116 countries. If you go back further, 2007, we had Chogam. Chogam, we had, I think, also about 48 countries with 36 states. So that's a very international airport of its own. So we have the capacity, we are prepared, and we can actually manage after. Just to add, I think as Gigi said, the airport in Kabarega is almost done, and that will also be in position to manage the AFCON when time comes. Thank you very much.
Do we have any other question now? Sorry? CGJ. Okay. We are finished. But since you're back on the podium, Oluganda lukuweerawo okolera kubaawo sibo.
Part of my interview, but let's be right. Or I will delegate this to Orif, so that everybody has their money, their salaries when they are just here. They have two very, very key. I speak to Ghana, but I cannot speak. Orif assisted by Sajawaka Wakaruja to come here and summarize what I've been saying. Please. Orif. Okay, let me try I am not I can't try Uganda, but usually I want us to share this responsibility. Kye tubaddeko twogera wano mu Luzungu mu Lungereza okulaga eggwanga nga bwe twetegese ku mukolo guno gubindabinda lunaku nga 2 oba 3 ogw'okulayiza mukulu w'eggwanga mu kisanja kino ekiddako nga ngezako okugamba eggwanga tuli beetegefu okwaniriza abagenyi baffe abagenda kwetaba ku mukolo guno nga mulimu bakulembeze b'amawanga gano agatuliraanye aga Afirika n'egyo mikwano gyaffe ku nsi yonna. Ate bangi bamaze dda okonfaminga bagenda kwetaba mu mikolo egyo nga bulijjo ekiri gye twanirizamu abantu yanjawuloko kubanga ekyo yanirizamu okulembeze w'eggwanga eddala si tefaanana n'engeri gye twanirizamu abo